Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. Happy Thursday to all of you. First up today, I want to take advantage of an underutilized YouTube feature, Tesla polls. Meyer said, I know I'm a lone voice here, but if Tesla is confident in solving L4 autonomy and 4680 at scale, then the Semi should be prioritized over the Cybertruck. It's not only for Tesla's own bottom line, but for world GDP. I selfishly don't want this to happen because I want a Cybertruck and I'm impatient, but check out the poll and let me know, what do you think Tesla should do first, Cybertruck or the Semi? Volt Equity on Twitter said 2022 marks the 10-year anniversary from when Tesla first delivered the Model S, and they shared this pretty cool infographic. Now, to be fair, some of these stats may be a little off. They may have been a bit generous with the charging times, but I thought the infographic was pretty cool and a good reminder of how far Tesla has come. In case you missed it, Tesla will report fourth quarter earnings on January 26th at 4:30 p.m. Central Time or 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, this cannot come soon enough as we have so much speculation and all the way up to absurd reporting about the Cybertruck going on right now. Look at this from the street. Tesla's Cybertruck may not actually happen.
Has Elon Musk been trolling everyone when it comes to his company's odd-looking take on an EV truck?
And then we have the situation where Tesla removed 2022 from the Cybertruck page on the Tesla website. We talked about this weeks ago when it actually happened, saying it might be nothing, it's just we're heading into 2022, so maybe they're removing it. But now, weeks later, a bunch of media outlets are picking it up, saying that the Cybertruck is delayed and
may not actually ever happen.
It's just completely out of control. And yes, there's a chance the Cybertruck is actually delayed. Let's all just wait 2 weeks to hear from Tesla and Elon so we can get something based on facts, not just pure speculation. And it goes on and on. Ford stock leaps on Tesla Cybertruck delay report. And then we have this from Global Equities research analyst Trip Chowdhury, who says that he is expecting 2 versions of the Cybertruck and he's expecting a March reveal event, and that we won't have any detail on the Q4 call about the Cybertruck. Here you go. Expects the Cybertruck to have 2 versions and the company to hold a special virtual event in March on the highly anticipated new vehicle. Expects one version to be about 15 to 20% smaller and both versions to have significant tweaks to the original design. Good on Trip for mentioning Steel Dynamics, as we did a deep dive on this a few months back, and he said he does not expect the company to provide Cybertruck details on the earnings call, only waiting for that March reveal event. Once again, where is he getting this information? To me, it feels like pure speculation. I am going to add it to the prediction tracker, but everybody, I think let's just calm down and see what happens on the Q4 call. Before we move on, to be fair, Elon has said in the past that Tesla would consider a smaller Cybertruck for international markets, but to start with 2 different right out of the gate would certainly be news. If we don't get an update on the Cybertruck on the Q4 call, I personally think that would be a huge blunder on Tesla's part. Just give us a little bit of something as how things are progressing and a new timeline, as so many people are waiting for this vehicle. According to CNEV Post, Tesla delivered 169,800 Model Ys in 2021, making it the best-selling electric SUV in the country for the year. In that category, the Model Y was trailed in second place by the BYD Song with 104.2 thousand units, and in third place was the Li One with 90.4 thousand units. Here we have Delete Design on Twitter working on his own version of the Tesla software user interface. A lot of people have been responding to this very positively. Have a look and see for yourself.
Thinking if we were to tap and hold on this, what if we could add settings down here to the bottom? So you could pop this open, for example, and you have a whole list of different system settings, like maybe I want to have wipers down here. I can tap and drag this down here. Now I've got a shortcut to it. Maybe I want to control like fan speed. So I can come here, I can say, let's see, increase fan speed, drag you down there. Maybe set fan speed to 0, pop it in between there. So now I've got quick and easy access to these shortcuts in my bottom bar with a single tap. I don't have to dig through any menus, they're just there on the surface. And if I'm driving along, I tap on them, I get a little notification here.
Sticking with the theme of Tesla's UI, I could not agree more with the sentiment shared on Reddit. The one thing I wish Tesla would implement is an accessibility section to increase contrast, text size, and other settings. My parents just got a Model Y, but they have a hard time seeing the arrows to increase the temperature, or the text is too small to comfortably read. I know it wouldn't look as sleek, but it would make it far easier to use since the touchscreen is already harder to use than a physical button on a moving car. Now, real quick, before we move on, I need to share something personal with you guys. Before YouTube, I left a great career as a financial advisor with Edward Jones to accept the sales director position at a local health and wellness club. Fitness was a passion of mine all throughout college, and it led me to competing in men's physique. Yes, all natural and tested. And this led me down the health and wellness rabbit hole for a few years where I researched voraciously, just like I do now with Tesla and blockchain. With that being said, I am genuinely excited to share with you guys Athletic Greens, or AG1. And yes, they are the sponsor of today's video, but it's a product I've been taking for some time after seeing it in a Lex Friedman podcast. And if Lex endorses something, you know it's good. And yes, my link with freebies is in the description below. Athletic Greens is quick and easy. 1 scoop into 8 ounces or so of water, shake it up, and voila, your perfectly dosed superfood cocktail is ready to enjoy. If I'm being honest, a huge part of why I stuck with AG1 is the taste. It's the first greens drink where I don't have to hold my breath because I feel like I'm drinking chalk. It's kind of pineapple-y to me, definitely the best tasting greens drink I've had. And look, given the situation the world is in right now, everybody should be doing whatever they can to support their immune system. I take this every morning after my 5-minute cold shower or ice bath. Yes, every morning.
Yeah, it's true. He's insane.
Every serving of AG1 has 75 vitamins, minerals, and probiotics that, when taken consistently, can help to support gut health, energy, immunity, recovery, and focus. And do not sleep on gut health. Just like Tesla, AG1 goes above and beyond the normal testing requirements, so you know that you're getting the highest quality, pure nutritional value. How do I know this? Because it's NSF certified. NSF is an independent third-party organization. With every purchase, Athletic Greens donates to organizations providing nutritious meals to children in need. And if you use my link, they have offered to provide a 1-year supply of vitamin D3, K2, and 5 AG1 travel packs free of charge with every purchase. And yes, this is an excellent way to support the channel. Alex shared another great chart, this time including Daimler and BMW in comparison to Tesla full BEV sales for Q3 2021. The takeaway is still the competition is not that close. Tesla India is now back in focus after Elon tweeted about some challenges with the Indian government. So Siddharth Zarabi said the Indian government is rejecting Elon's claims about these challenges. Sources say Elon is once again trying to put pressure on the government via social media. Officials reveal Tesla wants India to reduce import duties on cars without any commitment of producing in India. Just right there at face value, I don't think that's too big of an ask. Just let Tesla test the market a little bit, dip their toe in the water, see if it would make sense to then invest in actual manufacturing in the country. There is, however, much more that needs to be said about this situation. So this all started from Pranay asking Elon if there was an update on Tesla launching in India, and Elon said still working through a lot of challenges with the government. Troy Teslake chimed in with some very eye-opening data about auto sales in India. He said Tata Motors sells 2 EVs, Nexon and Tigor EV, that both start below $20,000. They sold 9,645 units. MG Motor sells an EV that starts below $30,000. They sold 2,349 units. Troy then said, I estimate Tesla would sell 200 units per year. Have a look at the electric vehicle sales in India in 2021, totaling 12,431 units. Troy added, the average sale price of cars in India is $10,415. The size of the entire premium car segment was 28,348 units in 2021, this including ICE vehicles. Gary Black then countered, saying one could say the same thing about premium cell phones in India pre-Apple. Apple will sell 5 million iPhones in India in 2021. There are 3 to 4 million cheap 2 to 3 wheel vehicles sold per year in India. 14 million people make at least $20,000 per year, will buy premium EVs, around $20,000 to $25,000 if available. That is a huge if, because right now a $20,000 to $25,000 Tesla is not available. Now look, data is great, but it is a lagging indicator. My solution for India would be this. 1. Have an R&D center focused on software development. Hire all of the very best talent, some of the most brilliant minds on the planet that are in India that would love to work for Tesla. Get that going and have them work on software for user interface or auto bidder or whatever software FSD they want to work on. Have a hub starting there. Then step 2 could be Tesla Energy. How about some solar paired with some grid energy storage? Perhaps some VPPs or some virtual power plants for select communities. Then from there, you can expand your scale, utility scale grid energy storage, solar farms. And then from that improved infrastructure base, you can start to build out the supercharging network to set the stage for Tesla Auto to come in a little bit closer to when they might have a $20,000 to $25,000 Tesla available. To me, that makes the most sense. Please challenge me or let me know your thoughts to the solution for Tesla in India below. JB Straubel was interviewed again by CNBC on Tech Check, and he had a few interesting things to say. First of which, demand is picking up for the EV industry, but the auto industry is not moving fast enough for production to keep up with the demand. He said this is catching people off guard. It's a really strong shift, all the way from internal combustion sales dropping to EV sales increasing almost 100% in different regions. Industry sales estimates predicting EVs will account for 12.7% of all US auto sales by 2025 may be too low. If you look at how fast adoption is growing in parts of Europe and other parts of the world, I think it points to a path of potentially even higher percentages than that by mid-decade. And he said something here that I've been saying for months. Even if the chip issue subsides as we head further into 2022, I think it's going to come back at some point mid-decade as everybody and their brother are trying to ramp EVs that require more of these advanced chips. He said there's absolutely a risk we could see a repeat of the semiconductor type of shortages that might reduce and hamper EV growth. The good news is JB and Redwood are working 24/7, literally around the clock, building facilities to make the supply chain happen and to try to get ahead of the bottleneck before it happens. Here we have a very interesting rumor from Andre Bassina, who yes is followed by the limiting factor, who said, reliable source just told me Tesla is starting the hiring process for a second factory in the EU in Slovakia, the birthplace of Andrej Karpathy. Rumor says it should be focused on Cybertruck and the Roadster. On the surface, this seems odd to me because initially you would think the Cybertruck and the Roadster would be focused in the United States, so why would they do the R&D and the development in Slovakia? But who knows, with Tesla, anything is possible, so we'll wait and see what happens here. A good reminder here from Charlie Bolello that just because the CPI data shows 7%, doesn't mean that's a good indication of what's actually going on in the markets. Here is our dose of weekly comedy or disappointment, however you choose to look at it. Honda tempers out of whack expectations for EV demand in the US. Honda is looking to debut 2 EVs in the United States in 2024 as part of a co-development deal with GM, and GM will supply the batteries. Off to a great start. The EV of sales, Dave Gardner at Honda, said, what is the consumer uptake for EVs? Right now, I think that's something that's a little out of whack with automakers' efforts to rush EVs to market, essentially implying that there's not that much EV demand. A little fun fact about me, back in the day, I actually worked at Honda for a few weeks. I did not like it, but I can tell you that there is no demand for Honda EVs because there are no Honda EVs. Honda is targeting a 2040 phase out for its gasoline powered vehicles. I'm pretty confident the market will phase out Honda gas powered vehicles on its own. Right now, most BEV business is being done by one company, that's true, Tesla, and that's being sold in very select markets. Well, they can only produce so many EVs, so sure, they're only going to be available in certain markets, but they're pretty global by this point if you're not paying attention. Speaking of Honda's upcoming EVs, it has not yet said where the Honda Prologue or the upscale Acura brand crossover will be built. So, not the most bullish news for Honda in my opinion. Last up today, a pretty cool story about Rivian doing some good work. Adopt a Charger and Rivian have announced a collaboration to install EV chargers in national parks and recreation areas. Adopt a Charger is a national nonprofit providing free EV charging at scenic, cultural, and civic destinations. Today, they announced Rivian will sponsor dozens of EV charging stations in Yosemite National Park and the Golden Gate National Recreation Area. Adopt a Charger has already upgraded 13 Yosemite charging stations to Rivian waypoints, all free to the public. All of these chargers are level 2, which will add about 25 miles of range per hour. That will, of course, vary. Rivian will pay for the equipment and fund 10 years of operation and the maintenance by the two organizations. So a small partnership here, but if you love the national parks, then you probably like to see things like this. That's all for today. Don't forget to check out AG1 linked in the description below. Please take a second to like the video if you did. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters.